whoever the powers might be, want to make this about something other than what happened by bringing up the past when, as you put, and as the former mayor put, when in fact that was disclosed to the right people, it's never hidden, never shied away from, I think underscores the fact that we should not be focusing on their past. What we should be focusing on is what happened in this street.
Speaking with my friend Chris Cuomo there, that was the attorney for Dorian Johnson defending his client's credibility. Dorian Johnson was with Michael Brown. There he is right there when he was shot and killed by Officer Darren Wilson. His testimony is really a key part of this investigation. However, a mugshot, here it is, from 2011, along with the news that Johnson was busted for theft and for making a false report to police, have some questioning if he is a trustworthy witness. Let's bring in our legal analyst, Danny Savalas, along with attorney and radio host Mo Ivory. We're going to go with ladies first on this Friday, Mo, because, you know, we know how you two can get passionate and things can go hot here in a second. And a lot of people are going to say, hey, why is the media even talking about this mugshot and this 2011 arrest? It is going to be it's going to come up in trial, is it not? And is it relevant here, Mo?
Sure. I mean, you know, Michaela, absolutely it's going to come up in trial because credibility of witnesses always comes up in trial. And if they open the door to good character, they're going to open the door to bad character. So definitely it is going to be relevant in the case. But is it relevant right now to focus on it the way we are? I do not think so. I think there is such the part about the injustice that I feel about what's going on right now is all the negative information coming out about the witnesses and nothing coming out about the officer, nothing coming out about Josie, the so-called reliable source for what Officer Wilson, you know, had to say. It's just so imbalanced, and that narrative will play a part as to taint a jury, and that's the part that I worry about in this information coming out right now.
Now, Danny, we know that police say that Dorian Johnson didn't commit a crime the day that Michael Brown died. So that, in terms of credibility, that's vital. That's an important piece of this.
Okay, so we retreat to the rules because the answer lies within. And the rules of evidence in Missouri say that if you have a prior conviction, even probation, anything like that, that can be introduced against a witness to impeach their credibility. However, the Missouri rules specifically state that evidence of a prior arrest, not a conviction, the mere fact of an arrest, or even that you went through a trial, is not admissible to attack the credibility of a witness. So we simply apply the rules of Missouri evidence, and they're pretty clear. When it comes to a prior conviction, even if it's 20 years old, that's coming in. If it's an arrest only without a conviction, that will not come in as evidence of the lack of credibility.
What to Mo's point about tainting the jury, perhaps, or at least putting out that negative PR out there, that's going to have an effect.
Well, I mean, since the beginning of arrests, we've had a problem with arrests creating negative PR. That's why, if you are convicted, that's something you can't get cleaned off your record. If you are just simply arrested and that ultimately does not result in a conviction, you can usually get that wiped clean. But look, the fact of an arrest is a problem for a lot of people whose arrests have not resulted in convictions. There's a negative PR result, but it is the truth. He was arrested.
Mo, the Washington Post is reporting the prosecutors still have not talked to Officer Wilson. I know that's a point of frustration for you. Put aside the frustration, is this normal, or could this be strategy?
Oh, I don't think it's normal at all, nor is it normal for an incident report not to be done on the day that an incident, and never mind a killing, takes place. But we know that Officer Wilson also did not fill out an incident report. The protection, the zone of strategy that is around making sure that Officer Wilson walks away from this is just so obvious. That is the reason why people have been calling for the prosecutor to step down. I understand following the law, and I agree with everything that Danny just said and the legal analyzation prior to that. Yeah, I know.
Not yet.
I knew it was too good to laugh.
Right, but it still doesn't take away what always enters into our court system, what those, if it's going to be 12 jurors, will think about what they know about the case and what has come to their attention. And this zone of protection over the officer, it's just completely
Quick final thought, Danny.
That zone of protection is an interesting discussion. It just doesn't have anything to do with the law. Remember, police officers are subjected to 2 inquiries rather than a civilian who is only a criminal investigation. A police officer also has an administrative investigation, and they give a statement. They're required to, or else they'll get fired. It's called a Garrity statement, and it can't be used against them in a criminal prosecution. My understanding is, In Missouri, each police department can apply this rule as they see fit, and St. Louis County traditionally lets the criminal investigation run its course before they take that administrative Garrity statement. Now, because it's discretionary,
we haven't heard anything about the officer.
But because it's discretionary, St. Louis County may decide, well, this is an unusual case. Maybe we should commence the administrative investigation, get that Garrity statement, but the officer, on pain of being fired, gives that statement knowing it will not be used against him in the criminal prosecution.
There's so much to wade through, and I appreciate you both joining me on a Friday, nonetheless, to talk about it. There'll be more to discuss. Danny, Mo, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Take a short